Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into one of the biggest questions of our time, how artificial intelligence isn't just a piece of tech, but a massive force that's actively reshaping our entire global economy.
You know, the story we're being told is completely split. On the one hand, you have these incredible projections of wealth, with AI promising to rocket fuel global GDP. But on the other hand, you hear these serious warnings about our society fracturing, about a new kind of economic decay, a rust belt, but for white-collar jobs. So, what's the real story here? Is this thing going to make us all richer, or is it just going to push more and more people to the sidelines?
Well, the reality is it's kind of both. And to really get it, we have to look at AI as two things happening at the exact same time. It's an unbelievable engine for productivity, but within our current system, it's also a powerful engine for disruption.
Okay, let's start with the upside. Because, man, the case for AI as this incredible engine for growth and efficiency, it's just staggering. This is the story of optimization, of innovation on a scale that's honestly hard to wrap your head around.
A huge study by PwC put a number on it. They figure AI could pump nearly $16 trillion into the global economy by 2030. Just to put that into perspective, that is more than the entire current economies of China and India combined.
Now, what's really fascinating here is the geopolitical angle, because these gains, they're not going to be spread out evenly. China is projected to see this massive 26% explosion in its GDP. That reflects a very deliberate strategy to push AI deep into every corner of its economy. North America is also set to grab a huge piece of the pie. So this isn't just about money. This is a map of how global power is literally shifting.
And this isn't just theory, right? This growth is happening because of real, concrete changes on the ground. I mean, on the factory floor, you've got predictive maintenance that fixes machines before they even break. You have lights-out factories that can run around the clock with almost no people inside. This is that productivity engine in its purest form.
But it's not just about factories and assembly lines. In creative fields, AI is becoming this unbelievably powerful new tool. I mean, it was a key part of how they pulled off the stunning visuals in Everything Everywhere All at Once. It didn't replace the artist. It just expanded what was even possible for a small creative team to do.
So in this rosy picture, the key idea is that AI is like a co-pilot. It's a tool that can handle all the repetitive, data-heavy stuff, and that should, in theory, free up us humans to focus on the big picture, on strategy and creativity.
But that whole positive story comes with a pretty big twist. A recent study from MIT found something really interesting. You see, with past automation, it was mostly middle-skill jobs that were affected. This time, it's the high-paying, brainy jobs that have the most exposure to AI. And that's where the story takes a turn.
All right, let's flip the coin over. Because for every story you hear about enhancement, there's another one about disruption. This is where we have to look at the contradictions and the very real chance that a lot of people could get left behind in this whole thing. So, the real fear here isn't just about losing jobs. It's about inequality becoming baked into the system. The worry is that when you unleash AI in a world that's already unequal, it just pours gasoline on the fire, concentrating wealth and power and making the cracks in our society even deeper.
Think about this. Researchers are now talking about a new kind of AI rust belt. Just like deindustrialization hollowed out old factory towns, this new wave could hit suburbs filled with white-collar workers in finance and insurance. Places like Macquarie Park in Sydney are being flagged as highly exposed. The threat isn't sending jobs to another country anymore, it's sending them to an algorithm.
And look at this. This chart shows the global gap in a really stark way. I mean, how is a developing country supposed to jump into the AI revolution when the price of basic internet eats up nearly a third of a person's monthly income? This isn't just a tech problem. It's a huge barrier that could lock entire countries out of this new economy.
So, okay, we've got these two huge opposing forces. But here's the thing. The future isn't set in stone. This isn't something that's just gonna happen to us. The outcome will be shaped by the choices we make, politically and socially. The rulebook for this new world is being written as we speak.
So one of the first ways we're dealing with this is through regulation. Governments are trying to build some guardrails. In California, for example, they've actually created a legal definition for an automated decision system, which is basically any AI tool that has a say in hiring, firing, or promotions.
And what that actually means is that they're putting new rules on employers. If you're a company using these AI tools, you now have to check them for bias, you have to make sure a real human is in the loop, and you have to keep records. It's basically an attempt to build some accountability right into the code.
But you know, regulating the tools we already have, that's only one piece of the puzzle.
This technology is forcing us to ask a much, much bigger question, one that really gets to the core of how our society is set up. What happens if having a full-time job is no longer the main thing our lives revolve around? And that's why you're hearing so much talk again about things like universal basic income, or UBI. But this isn't just a simple debate about a safety net versus inflation. It's really a debate about who gets to benefit from all the wealth these automated systems create. Is UBI a way to give back some of those productivity gains to the very same people whose data helped build the AI in the first place?
And that really gets to the heart of this huge philosophical shift. This quote here really nails it. It suggests that if AI can solve the problem of producing enough for everyone, then our job as humans changes completely. It shifts from labor to, well, to something else, to learning, to creating, to connecting.
So, it all comes down to this one final massive question. For hundreds of years, our value in the economy has been tied to our work, to our role in making things. If machines take over most of that, what's left for us to do? What is the new human work? Is it art, science, taking care of each other? Or maybe the whole idea of work being the center of our lives is the thing that needs to change. That's the question this new era is forcing all of us to answer.